Hey, welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And today we're going to get into the matchups between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Buffalo Bills. I hope everybody had a beautiful Thanksgiving and probably sitting back in their lazy chair and eating some leftovers right now and waiting on the game. Come on a little later on today. Here in Cleveland, we had a snow blizzard last night. So everybody's trying to dig out and get out the yard, so they can get out to that. Well, it's probably almost over now, but the Black Friday shopping. But yeah, well, we probably got about three inches of snow overnight. But that ain't nothing. We used to it. But the Pittsburgh Steelers received a huge favor. Excuse me. The Pittsburgh Steelers got a big favor from the Cincinnati Bengals last night. Joe Burrow returned, and he took care of his business, and I think Cincinnati beat the Ravens 32-14. I tried to watch that game, but the Thanksgiving meal kind of took over, and it put me out. So when I woke up this morning, I was very shocked to see that the Bengals hanged on to that game because I just figured, you know, they was going to just do the Bengals normal and give up that lead, but they end up winning it. So that's a huge break for the Steelers. Can we take advantage of it? I'm not. I just don't know. I mean, in some ways, I'm really not confident that they can, at least this week. But like I say, with this team, from week to week, it is unfortunate. You don't know what you're getting from them. So we just have to wait and see to Sunday. But with that said, let's get right into these matchups and and see what's going on here and then see, is it a way that the Pittsburgh Steelers can pull this game out this weekend. All right, so it's a week 13. The season, believe it or not, is winding down. It's winding on down. Steelers are 6-5. Buffalo is 7-4. So one game apart, and you got to also realize that it's a possibility that these teams are going to be fighting for maybe that last wild card spot. So this is a huge game. This is a huge game for both. I mean, this will get a Steelers a 1 game lead um, in their division, and that'll take them from out the playoffs to back in the playoffs. And Buffalo, they're trying to keep pace with the pace. I mean, with the Patriots. So this is a very important game for both teams. When you look at some of the rankings, Pittsburgh Steelers total offense ranks 27th overall. With total rush offense, it ranked 23rd, and total pass offense ranked 27th. So we're in the lower third of every category. That really, to me, that doesn't speak well on Arthur Smith, but we'll see how it goes. When you go over here to Buffalo, total offense, they're third in the NFL. Total rush offense, they're the number one rushing team in the league. And total pass offense, they're 10th. So as you can see, offensively, the Buffalo Bills are still getting the job done. It's just the other side of the ball that's been giving them problems. So Steelers got their hands, they got their hands cut out for them as far as protecting the pass and the run. They got to be good at both. It's not that week where, okay, we're gonna stop the run, but we're gonna let them pass all over us. or we're gonna stop the pass and we're just gonna let them run. Well, you're dealing with a team that has a quarterback, so if you just let Josh Allen sit back there and pass, he's gonna eat you up. And then if you try to take away the pass and just let them run crazy, him and Cook is gonna eat you up. So this going to be a very big challenge for the Steelers, I believe. So let's get right into it. Quarterback. Um, right now, the Steelers are still up in the air. Is Aaron Rodgers going to play? Is he not going to play? I don't know how a broken bone heals in a week. So to me, if he couldn't play last week, I mean, granted, maybe some of the pain has went away, maybe some of the swelling has went away, and it's a different type brace. They want to put him in that maybe if the swelling went down, he can wear that type brace. I don't know. But all I know is Josh Allen is one of the top three quarterbacks in the league. Even though I think it's a shame that the Buffalo Bills don't give this guy any true weapons, but he's good enough that the guys that he has, he elevates those guys. He elevates those guys' play. So you just can imagine if he had a top tier guy, how he would be. Um, they did pick up Brandon Cooks off the street. I think he got cut last week, so they signed him. I'm assuming he's probably gonna play this week. I don't know if he's gonna play a major you know some major time, but I'm quite sure they're gonna get him in to play. And anybody that they can get in there is gonna be a big help for them. So all in all, quarterback, I'm giving that to the Buffalo Bills. I think the Buffalo Bills are definitely better than the Steelers at the quarterback position at this point. Running back. Um, like I say, the Bills are the number one rushing offense in the league. Um, James Cook is well over 1,000 yards. He's kind of a smaller guy, but a workhorse type guy. He's a guy that they don't have a problem with giving him 20, 25 touches a game. Where the Pittsburgh Steelers seem like they can't figure it out. Warren, which to me the last couple of weeks, Warren has been outstanding, but it's just the fact of the Steelers don't want to give him the carries. But Gainwell has also been good, but a little bit better out of the backfield. But they both have basically, did pretty good. But the Steelers can't figure it out. Like they don't want to run the ball, so I don't really understand it. But with that, I'm giving that matchup to the Buffalo Bills also. I think they got a better running game than us right now, and the fact that the quarterback, then that helps. That helps the probably the total of their rushing yards when your quarterback can also run the ball. But um, Buffalo is more committed to the run. That's what I could say. They're more committed and they will run it. Where the Steelers, like I say, I still haven't figured out what their game plan really is. Wide receivers. Let's go with Pittsburgh first. I mean, Metcalf. When you look at his numbers, not really having a good year. Um, but again, I'm not even so much blaming him. I'm just blaming the Steelers scheme. And like I say, and this is old news, but not getting another guy on the side of him, that just makes things more complicated. You got these tight ends in there that okay, they're okay, but they ain't doing nothing. And you got an offensive coordinator that want to run a jet sweep with with Smith, a big old tight end. He want to run a jet sweep with him. It's just the Steelers' offense is just broke, and it's sad to say that George Pickens deal is looking worse and worse every week. It was a total disaster, and yeah, George Pickens was becoming a pain in the butt, but to me, not to be able to come up with any type of schemes to get the best out of that guy is just mind-boggling to me. And you see what he's doing in Dallas. He's actually probably going to end up being not even a Pro Bowler. He has a good chance of being an All Pro, and that's just crazy to me. But that's what we're dealing with. On the other side, Buffalo, their receivers are terrible, honestly, but they have a quarterback that will get them the ball, and like I say, his level of play also brings those guys up. So with that said, I'm actually gonna give the matchup to the Bills, and not so much of the personnel. I just think their offense, and I think their quarterback just gets their receivers involved more. And he uses tight ends. He has tight ends that he uses, but I think it's just more of an offensive plan and a quarterback situation that makes the Bills a little better at the tight end position. I mean, excuse me, the wide receiver position. Let's go to tight ends. Again, we have tight ends that we use for jet sweeps. Yeah, Darnell Washington, he's becoming a force, but I still believe if teams will take it all day of dealing with Darnell Washington compared to having to deal with DK Metcalf. They'll take that today, tomorrow, and next week. They rather deal with that than deal with it the other way. And the Steelers just can't figure it out. Fryermuth seemed like they was working on back in the offense, but they only giving him 2-3 catches a game. Not really committing to him. It's just like I said, our offense is just a mess. And with that said, I'm giving that to the Bills also, just for the fact. I mean, Kincaid, he's starting to come back. He was injured, but he's a guy that, like I say, quarterback play elevates a lot of Buffalo skill players as far as receivers and tight ends. It's not like these guys are great, but you have a quarterback that can get them the ball, willing to get them the ball, have an offensive system that's designed to get them the ball. So that's why I'm saying those guys are better. Offensive line, um, hey, you got the number one rushing offense in the league. I mean, these guys, they're huge for Buffalo. Um, the Steelers' offensive line has played better. It seems like Robert Jones will be out, so I'm thinking that's going to be Spencer Anderson, which to me, as a tackle and as a full-time tackle, he's terrible. So that's going to be an issue. Hopefully, this is not one of these situations where this brings Bosa back to life. So with that said, I'm giving that to the Buffalo Bills too. So it's a clean sweep for Buffalo. I think their offense is just better than the Steelers. I mean, no getting around it. Their offense is just better. All right, let's get to the defense. So let's look at the defensive numbers. Total defense, Pittsburgh Steelers is 27th in the NFL. Total rush defense, which is not bad. I mean, they're basically almost right in the middle of the pack. 14th, so that's a big improvement from the beginning of the year. They sometimes they do have these spells. Um, Total pass defense is 30th, so you can throw the ball on them. But again, I think part of that is the Steelers have really concentrated on stopping the run, and by selling out stopping the run, they've been giving up pass plays. So it seems like with this team, there's no balance. There's no balance where we can just be okay on the pass, okay on the run. It's either or. Either we're gonna concentrate on stopping the run, and we can't stop nobody from passing, or we're gonna concentrate on the pass, but we can't stop nobody running. So it's just like I say, this team is mid. This team is inconsistent, and the numbers don't lie. But let's flip over to the Buffalo Bills. Total defense, they're 13th. So again, um, not bad. Just in the middle of the pack, a little above the middle of the pack. Total rush defense is 30th. So the Buffalo Bills cannot stop the run. Pittsburgh Steelers, you hear that? The Buffalo Bills cannot stop the run. Now, will the Pittsburgh Steelers run the ball? Don't know. Don't know. Total pass defense, they're number one in the league. So it's hard to throw the ball on them. So it's gonna be a challenge. It's gonna be a challenge, and can the Steelers get their running game going? This is a perfect defense to get your running game going. Will the Steelers commit to doing that? Let Jalen Warren get his 25, 20 carries and just see how it works, and see how it goes. But again, who knows? From what we seen, and we only can go by what we seen, and that's something that the Steelers are not going to do. So, with that said, let's get right to it. So, the Steelers with the edges, I'm giving the Steelers I'm giving the Steelers the edge there. I mean, T.J. Watt again, not having the best of years. He will have a couple of splash plays here and there, but for the most part, after he does that, he disappears. But Herbert, he can actually be a challenge to the Bills' offensive line. Smith, I don't really expect him to play. He's doing his normal, being hurt. When you look at Buffalo, this is a team that does not get to the quarterback a lot. They don't really have a lot of sacks. Bosa is kind of hit and miss. He's definitely not the same player, but he can maybe take advantage of the situation that he may have against the person he's going up against. But I'm going to give the Steelers the edge on that. Defensive tackles. Our defensive tackles, I like our defensive tackles, but I just don't like how they're being used. I think for some reason the Steelers still want to put Benton in positions that he's not good at doing. It almost seemed like they just said, "Hey, they ain't made their mind up. This is what they want you to do." But that with that said, it's just like I say, it's a sad state right now with this defense. It's a very sad state. Again, Buffalo, run the ball, and you can run the ball down these guys' throat. They can't stop it, and I'm giving the edge to the Steelers. Like I say, we have been good at stopping the run, but I also feel like they're kind of sold out to try to do it, and this team is a little bit too balanced to try to do that, because if you sell out on stopping the run, they're going to kill you with the pass. Linebackers, again, Buffalo really don't have no big play guys. They don't really have no big play guys. The Steelers, our linebackers, to me, they play a little better when the Steelers move, when they change their front and go to that 4-3. It seems like Queen and Wilson play much better, much faster in that type of defense, because these guys, like I said before, these are not big guys. So when you play that 3-4, those inside backers are usually some bigger guys because you really count on them to stop the run. With a 4-3, you kind of need a little bit more athletic guys that can get to their zone and cover and yeah, they still got to be in the run game, but it's just not that big of a responsibility like how it is in that 3-4. But I'm gonna get a check to the Steelers. I think Queen and Wilson is much better than what the Bills are putting out there. And again, like I say, I keep saying this against Buffalo's defense: run the ball. Corners. Um, this could really, just injuries could really shift this. I don't really know what's up with Joey Porter. It seems like he's probably going to play, but who knows with that hip? I mean, you might get a game out of him. You might get 3 plays out of him. I mean, who knows? So that could actually become a situation. Um, Again, Buffalo, they don't have the best receivers out there, so it's really nobody that should be a major challenge more than you just got to stick with your guys because you got a mobile quarterback that can run, or you think he's running and you get up off your guy and he throw that ball right over your head. Again, Buffalo actually been playing good against the pass. I think it's more coming from their safeties than really their corners. But with that said, I'm gonna give the Steelers the edge there. I'm gonna give them the edge, and with the safeties, I think Jalen Ramsey, that move that he's made has been a positive move. Duggar, the trade has been a positive trade. Duggar just needs to catch a little better. I mean, he had left like 2 interceptions, and I think one of those that he dropped probably could have been another pick six for him. But I haven't had no problems with those guys play. Um, and Buffalo, they and had some good play from their safety. So honestly, to be honest, this is really more of an even match. I gave it to the Steelers, but this is really an even match here. This is a real even match with Cole Bishop back there and Poyer. This is really a fairly even match. But I guess you could say I'm a Steeler honk on that one. I'm gonna give it to the Steelers. I just think Ramsey is more explosive than any of those guys that Buffalo have. And like I said, Duggar has been a pleasant surprise. Just need to hold on to the ball, and it will work out better for him. Special teams, again, you got the bars. The weather may be a little crazy. I mean, but the bars, he know that stadium. Buffalo kicker. I mean, granted, he kicks in Buffalo, so the weather shouldn't be so much of an issue for him. It's just a matter of do he know the wind and understand the wind in that stadium, And the punter needs to. Williams needs to have a. I mean, not Williams, but Wilkerson. He needs to have a better week because he had a terrible week last week. He did not punt the ball well. So with that said, I'm gonna give that check to the Steelers. I just think Boswell can you can really count on him with the terrible field conditions, and like I say, it may be a windy day, and so I would put my money on Bos before I put my money on anybody kicking in that stadium. Let's go to coaching. Coaching. I'm giving the check to Buffalo Bills. This Arthur Smith, like I said, I'm at a point with these guys. They have to show me. Until they show me and show me consistently, I can respect them more. But right now, they haven't shown. I mean, what have you? All they have shown that they're inconsistent. There's a lot of stuff that's right there in your face that you should be trying to do. They won't. You can run the ball on the Buffalo Bills. You can absolutely run the ball on them. But what do the Steelers do? They're the type team they'll come out and they want to pass the ball first. I wouldn't be like, it wouldn't shock me if their first 20 plays is a pass. I mean, this is the type stuff that they do, which is ridiculous. I just I don't understand it. And like I say, at this point, Mike Tomlin, he's stuck in his ways, and whatever his beliefs is, he's gonna go down with that, and he's gonna keep you know doing what he do until it started working. Buffalo, they coaching, especially on the offensive side. I think Joe Bradley is I think he's in a little trouble. Um, but part of it is you just don't have any weapons, and I don't really understand that, man. You got a big time quarterback and you're not giving them no weapons, which don't make no sense. But with that said, I'm giving the coaching to Buffalo, and like I say, the Pittsburgh Steelers at this point, they coaching got to just show me. I mean, Arthur Smith has just been god awful. He's been god awful. So we'll see. Prediction time, man. So the Cincinnati Bengals did the Pittsburgh Steelers a huge favor last night, beating Buffalo. I mean, beating Baltimore. Can the Steelers take advantage of that? And I don't know. I'm just gonna be totally honest. And I don't know. I would hope they could, but who knows? Nobody knows what this team is gonna do. This team could easily come out here and beat the hell out of Buffalo, or they could easily come out there and lay an egg. But I think this is the breaking point. I think the Steelers have actually got to a breaking point. I think they have got to a point that I think the fans are really, and come on, everybody know fans. When the team win, you're good. When they lose, you got a problem. But I really think this is it. And I hate to say this, but in my gut, I think Mike Tomlin is going to finally do the impossible. And that is for him, Mr. Rooney, and all 53 players on that field gets booed out the stadium. And I believe with this, maybe not so much with Tomlin, because actually it probably get him more honorary. But I think with this happening, this may be the thing that's going to really open the eyes of the Roonies when they see this. So my prediction for this game, Buffalo wins this game 30-17. And I think Tomlin and the team get booed off the field. And I think Mr. Rooney is going to hear he's going to hear that. And I think this is going to open his eyes and make him maybe have to make some hard decisions. I'm not going to sit here and say the decision is going to be fired Mike Tomlin, but maybe to have that talk with him and say, hey, we got to do stuff different. You got to do stuff different. If you're willing to do that, we're willing to keep you. If you're not willing to do that, we got to go separate ways. So I just think, and like I say, if I'm wrong, I'm going to be happy to be wrong because my team's going to win. But I'm just going to be realistic. I don't have no faith in this team. And like I say, this score could easily be turned around and go the other way. But I don't think it's going to happen. And like I said, I think this is going to be the beginning where this team and Tomlin's going to get booed off the field. And this is going to open the eyes for the Roonies. And some decisions are going to have to be made. So with that said, that is it. Hopefully you guys can enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend for the ones that's off today, and get you a couple of plates. And it's a good football game coming on at 3, so you can check that out. But until then, make sure you like and subscribe, and take care. And I will talk to you later, and we'll see how this goes. All right, bye bye.